This podcast is brought to you by Most Valuable Podcasts, leading the league in podcasting entertainment.
What's up? Real MVPs, Ricky Whitmer here, and welcome back. New season, new us. It's the Wrecking Crew right here on MVP Sports. I'm joined, like I always am, with Tim Shaw. Tim, how we doing?
I'm right. Happy to be here. Happy for a brand new season. Watching the Cubs game right now. Feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty happy. Ready to kick off the new season of the podcast, though.
Oh, what's going to be great is, so just to pull the screen up so you guys can see behind the curtain, we are recording Monday night. It is the first inning of the Cub game. It'll be interesting to see if the bullpen blows it. And by the time this is live, people are going to go, oh, Tim ain't going to be smiles at the end. He's smiling now, right. But will it be smiles at the end?
We're going to be watching tomorrow or Wednesday and then realize that I might see my face.
By the end of the show, he's all sad. But we're back for a brand new Cubs season, Tim. We already have one series in the book. Well, technically two series in the books, because we were a part of that Tokyo series.
For some reason, they decided to count it.
Well, they do. That's what they do. They counted the Korea, the Seoul series last year. But before we get into everything,
also the reason we had 4 games against the Diamondbacks.
Yep. Before we get into everything, quick little housekeeping, shorter than usual. First off, if you like what you see here, you want to get more. If you're a Cubs fan, want to get in tune with Cubs talk all year, hit that subscribe button down below. If you like the podcast, also hit that like button. We do have a Patreon page if you would like to support us, but most importantly, if you want to get in on more conversation, we do have a great community in our MVP Discord, so go ahead and check that out, and also leave a comment down below to get in on this conversation. So, Tim, we got some things lined up, but I think the first thing we got to hit for this podcast is, like you mentioned, we had a 4-game series against the Diamondbacks. How it went was game 1, we win 10-6. Game 2, we lose 8-1. Game 3, we won 3-4. And then we should have won by a score of, what was that? That was the one we should have won 6-2, but an eight-run eighth.
6-2 with 6 outs left to go.
Yeah, but an 8-run eighth by the Diamondbacks. We lose 10-6 in the last game of the series. I'm gonna kick it off to you first. I could kick it off, but I'm gonna be nice and kick it off to you. What is your overall reaction after Series 1, Diamondbacks Cubs?
Ignoring the Dodgers series,
you can bring that in too.
Ignoring the Dodgers series, I was actually pretty content with a good portion of the team. You know, I was enjoying our lineup. Our hitting's been very good. Our starting pitching was pretty decent too. I think Matt Boyd really got robbed out of a good outing. What was that, yesterday?
Yep.
Overall, I mean, how is the bullpen not the page 1 headline on fire? Fix this part of the team.
I agree.
Is there anybody on this bullpen that you trust right now? We've seen almost every one of them.
I mean, so looking at just the Diamondback series, the first thing I do want to mention, you mentioned the starting pitching. If you look at how each one did, Boyd, who you mentioned, went 5 innings, 4 hits, no runs. Did walk 3. You got to keep those down, but 0 runs.
True. I would like him to not walk 3 in 5 innings, but
I'll take 0 runs if that's what it takes. Shota doing Shota things. I mean, didn't have 10 Ks like.
Oh man, was he great?
He didn't have 10 Ks like he had against the Diamondbacks last year, but he still won 7, gave up 1 run. The only pitcher like Steele, yes, 3 runs through 5, not ideal, but the worst starting pitcher we had was Taillon, who 6 runs and 4 1/3, giving up 2 bombs. The bullpen, though, like you said, Did we even, I know we brought in Presley from Houston, but I almost looked at this team and I go, did we bring in anybody? Or did we just say, nah, we're good. We're good on the bullpen. We don't need anyone to close out games. Shota's going to go 9 every time, right?
Of course. Well, yeah, every 5th game. So you only need a fifth of the type of talent you need in the bullpen.
Yeah.
No, did we bring in Presley on a trade? GM Ricky?
I think it
By the way,
was for
I don't know if
agency.
you guys know this out there in YouTube land, but Ricky, he works for the Cubs. He's got his spot in the office there. So we always go to him when we need transaction, roster moves, injuries. He's our guy in the office.
Now, let's see.
So do we pick Presley up off of free agency or do we trade for him?
Yeah, it says here no, actually, you're right. Astros traded Presley in cash consideration. So we traded them Juan Bello for Ryan Presley. You're right. We traded for Presley. We traded for him during the offseason this year. So not a free, but still an addition, I'll say, to the bullpen. But like
it's the same thing.
You look at the bullpen this series, game 1, the only runs came from Pearson and Presley, 3 total. In game 2, you had Keller give up 2 runs late in the 8-1 loss. That game was over though, with how Taillon pitched earlier in that game.
Yeah, that was a blowout.
When Shota pitched, Ryan Presley gave up 2 more runs. And then obviously in that 4th game, you had Pearson give up 2, you had Thilbar give up 2, and then you had Eli Morgan give up 6.
Eli Morgan, yeah.
Eli Morgan gave up 6 runs. I believe we traded
for Eli Morgan too.
I double check that.
I think we traded for him also. But like, yeah, it's embarrassing. You like you said, what did we try to do in the offseason? Jed, what are you doing? Did you really look at this bullpen and go, we're good? Just like you said, we're fine. We're okay. Let's head into the season with this club. I mean, what the hell? This has been 3 years in a row of crummy bullpens. It's not that hard to develop pitching.
I mean, that's the thing though. Like we talked about it last year. We do have pitching prospects. They're just not ready for the show yet.
Yeah. I mean, we do have a few injuries too. I think if we had Assad, he would probably be
starting.
In the first 6 games, he probably would have played 3. You know what I'm saying? Like he probably would be pitching every other game. Like when we're in those modes where we need, relief.
Yeah.
But I mean, even with a full healthy club, I hate this pitching staff.
Because like I'm looking at,
which is kind of odd too. Did you notice or do you realize how like we were in the upper half of best bullpens last year? I heard that stat and it blew my mind because I'm like,
maybe
we spent most
critical
of last year just trashing the bullpen.
Well, the one thing I will say, and I looked at it, is out of our prospects, when it comes to the AAA prospects, like we have Cade Horton, who I think this year, I will say one of my big predictions for this year is, you know how Ben Brown started out in the minors, got bumped to the majors. Cade Horton, if he stays healthy and doesn't have those back issues, will be up on the major league 40-man roster at some point this year. So we have Cade Horton down there. We got Brandon Birdsell down there. And then we also have Jack Neely, 24-year-old for Neely, 25-year-old for Birdsell, and then Horton is 23. So like at some point, if this bullpen doesn't work out, we got to see those young guys up here, right? Just at this point, like not at this point, but like if we get to, I don't know, June and the bullpen ain't working, I'd rather see the young kids up here and see what they can do.
Yeah. Yeah, unless there's certain contract obligations to keep certain people where they are, I would agree with you totally. I think if you can't cut it up there, I don't care how inexperienced you are, bring somebody else up and give them a shot.
Because like I'm looking at it too, and it's like the bats came alive. Like the 10-6 we had 12 hits.
Yeah.
One for 4 for Shaw, 1 for 4, but like Horner had 2, Bush had 2, Happ leading off had 2. In game 2, we really got put on. There was Merle Kelly's amazing. Only 3 hits against
Yeah.
Kelly in that one. But then game 3, back up to 8 hits. Kyle Tucker showed up. He went 3 for 4 in that one with 2 ribbies.
Sure did.
The only Cub with more than 1 hit. And then that 10-6 loss, it's like 9 hits isn't terrible. With Dansby 2 for 4, Seiya went 2 for 4. It's like the bats, yes, there are some guys that have been slow. Like, spoiler alert for the A's game that you're watching. It was great to hear you cheer that Michael Bush hit a bomb, because I'll be honest,
he did hit a bomb earlier.
It was a little weird not to see him hit a homer in an entire series. Like, I was already like, oh, is this going to be the down year for Bush?
Oh, no, really? That early?
I overreact. You know me. I overreact to opening series, but like,
skin started to crawl. You're like, why hasn't he hit one yet?
I think the bat, like, I know it's only one series and we can't overreact to one series, but I think the bats will be fine this year.
That's incorrect, because all we have to react on is one series, so we're allowed to. If this was July, I would agree with you. We have one series to react on.
What I mean by that is, I don't think we should be going, oh, this team sucks, we're not going to make the playoffs. Oh, this team sucks, oh, we're going to be the worst in the division. The bats, I think, will be fine. The biggest thing is, like, we've already brought up the bullpen, and I'm worried about the bullpen going forward, because Shota's not going to go 9 every game. Steele, I'm a little rocky on Steele. I was not confident. Like, we streamed that game that Steele pitched. Steele did not look, I know last year he looked good in that first game against the Rangers and then got injured. Me and you were watching it. We went, well, Steele's injured.
Yeah.
He does not look, or did not look, that dominant like he did last year.
You brought it up in the stream. You're you're not, this isn't like an opinion he's coming up with like today. You brought it up in the stream. You're like, this is not Steele.
Yeah.
He's not playing how he should be playing.
Let's see. Last year overall, Steele, at the end of the year, Steele had a 3.07 ERA, a WAR of 1.9, his lowest WAR in his last 2 seasons. He was at 2.9 and 3. Let me see because even against the Dodgers, he pitched in Tokyo, 5 hits, 5 runs in that 6-3 loss against the Dodgers. I mean, against the Rangers? Against the Rangers last year, before he got hurt, this was his first start of the season last year. 4 2/3 innings, because he got hurt on that play where he was going to go play the ball in between first and home. And I think it was his back that he like tweaked, or it might have been his ankle. 3 hits, 1 run, 6 Ks. That's what I was kind of expecting from Steele this year, and we haven't gotten it yet. So, like, I will be honest, there's a little worry there. It's like, okay, is Steele going to take a step back to start this year? Because we can't afford that. We need him and Shota to be solid.
True. This is definitely the year that Shota, I mean, if didn't prove it last year, steps in as the number 1 for the team. You know, you never know with Steele. I mean, like, guys after an injury like that can really, their confidence can be shooken, and they can fall off, and you know, it happens every single day with pitchers. I still see good stuff out of him. You know, I still see him working the count, and I can see him targeting areas he might be missing some of them, but he's still doing that, and that shows me that he's still mentally there, which is good. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call you crazy for having concerns.
So I have a question for you. And this is something I know. So I'm a gambling guy. I'm a gambler. And the day that Shota pitched for us, I was looking at K props, and I was thinking about going Shota over. I think his over was like 4.5. And I'm like, oh, that seems low. Like he struck out 10 guys the last time he played the Diamondbacks. But I decided not to play it because of the question I'm about to ask you, where now I hope that, me personally, I hope this changes this year, but will it be a worry if, like last year, Shota had 110 strikeouts when pitching at Wrigley compared to only 64 when pitching away from Wrigley? Will it be a problem? Because you and I had a discussion about an ace. Let's be honest.
Yes.
We expect Shota to be our ace and to be an ace level pitcher. Will it be a concern if Shota is striking out 40 to 50 more batters at home compared to on the road? And not that, like, hey, it doesn't matter home, away, he's going to get his strikeouts.
I'm confused. You mean like
he averages higher strikeout rates per game at home. He had 110 strikeouts at home compared to only 64 on the road.
And you're asking if that's a concern?
Is that a concern? Because I saw that and I'm like, oh, I kind of think that's a concern.
Yeah, that wouldn't stick out to me that way. I don't know if that kind of number would pop out and be like red flag or anything like that, but I see what you mean. But like most pitchers are better at home than on the road, aren't they?
So I'm going to use
except for if you Carlos Zambrano.
I'm going to use last year as an example. So I'm looking at the top four, and I have not prepared this, Tim. This is, you know me, sometimes off the cuff. The top four guys in strikeouts last year.
Wine 10 minutes ago.
the top four guys in strikeouts last year were Skubal of the Tigers, Sale of the Braves, Wheeler with the Phillies, and Dylan Cease with the Padres. With Skubal, he had, let's see, I don't want 2025 splits. I want 2024. He had 117 Ks at home, 111 Ks on the road. Almost dead even, 6 more strikeouts total at home. When you look at Chris Sale, last year Sale had 103 strikeouts when at home, 122 strikeouts when on the road. Zach Wheeler. Really? Did you say my name?
No, I said really.
Okay. When you said really, I thought you said Ricky. And I was like, oh, wait, he's got a point. Zach Wheeler.
I'm with you.
Zach Wheeler, 115 Ks at home, 109 Ks on the road. And then Dylan Cease, the number 4 guy, he had 103 Ks when at San Diego, 121 when on the road. Shota's got to have 100 and 100. That's what I'm thinking. Like, you got to strike out guys on the road.
Out is that he's got about 40 to 50 less strikeouts than each of those guys. Should it be more balanced? That would be more like 80 and 80, right? Mm-hmm. But yeah, I get what you're saying. If you want to be an ace, you should be able to do it on the road, like these ace guys that you just mentioned.
And even the number 5 guy, Cole Reagan, 122 at home, 101 on the road. So the point is does Shota,
the numbers should be closer.
Does Shota have to have 100 home, 100, at least 100 and 100?
My opinion, I don't care.
Okay.
I've really stopped caring about those kind of stats, and really all I care about is wins.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. Last year, his record at home, 7-2 with a 2.73 ERA. On the road, 8-1 with a 3.14. So his ERA was up on the road. But yet again, here's the thing, and this is my combat to, I know you can say all I care about is wins and losses. Wins and losses to me are tricky because there's some guys where it's like, oh man, they had a terrible win-loss record on that team. Then they move. It's like, yeah, how are the bats helping? Sometimes the team doesn't have offense, and it's like, this pitcher pitches great, but he's losing one. Like the Braves this past weekend. It's like, I think it was the game that Chris Sale pitched. I have to look it up. He technically got a loss or a no decision because they lost 1-0. Pitched a great game.
Let me rephrase. I would like. I like wins with the caveat of quality start.
Okay.
That's really what I care about.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of don't really care about ERA, really.
Okay.
As long as you have that those numbers behind you, where somehow I think that is like the X factor of pushing through and just determining who is the best guy to put on the mound. Quality starts plus wins divided by, I don't know, his height.
I'll say this. Doing the math, Shota had 96 innings pitched at Wrigley, 77 and a third away from Wrigley. However, both of the averages to were like, okay, how many innings was he averaging per game? 6 innings per average at Wrigley, 5.9 away, because he only pitched 13 road games compared to 16 home games. So like, he's going 6. If you're going to go 6, I need you. I know you got the stuff to strike people out. I see it at Wrigley. That game against the Rockies, his first one.
You need with 6 innings.
With 6 innings, I would say, because it showed up, because I want him to be the ace, he's got to have at least 100 at home, 100 away. If you're going to be our ace.
You want him to, you're asking for a 200 strikeout season from Shota this year.
I know he can do it. If he could strike out 100 at home, there's no reason he can't strike out 100 away. He's got the stuff. It mind boggles me that he's able to strike out 100 at home and only 64 on the road.
Well,
I mean, I know he played 3 more.
It might be just one of those things, though.
Like, I know he played 3 more games. Like, you could say, well, Ricky, he had 3 more home games last year. Well, last year he was averaging 5 strikeouts a game on the road.
10 strikeouts in each of those games.
Well, no. He was averaging 4.9. I'll round up. He's averaging 5 strikeouts a game on the road. If he even would have had 3 more games, that would have just been 15 more strikeouts. He would have been closer to the number you were talking about, 80 on the road, which would have been better, but it wouldn't be where I wanted. Whereas at home, in 16 games, he was averaging near 7 strikeouts a game. That is what I want to see. I want to see Shota strike out 6 or like Zach Wheeler for the Phillies, right? He's the perfect example to me. Zach Wheeler on the mound, most games, you can expect 6 from him. You can expect 6 Ks from him every game. That's what I need Shota to be. At Wrigley, away from Wrigley, 6 strikeouts every game at the least.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you'll get 10, sometimes you might get 9, 8, but I need him to really like knock down those guys and make them strike out. Because when you strike guys out, that's when you start hitting them in the when they strike out against you, it's a mental thing. They go, wow, we can't touch this guy. That's what I want them to think. When you're on the mound, we want the guy going back to
this dugout going, whoa. You know, you want him like telling the rest of his buddies in the batting order, like, he's got some stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I know what you mean.
Am I being too picky on Shota? Yeah, I know.
I don't think you're being too picky. You might be being a little picky, but it's fine to have those kinds of expectations. You know, it's fine to, you want him to be our ace.
Yeah.
And again, if he did that kind of stuff, I would call him our ace. So we don't need to bring up that argument again.
Well, I'll ask you, does Shota have it in him to be an ace in the MLB?
Realistically, and I hate saying this, I think we've seen I think we're in the middle of his peak.
Okay.
I think maybe little bit he gets a little bit better, but I realistically I think he's playing the best baseball he's played.
So you think he's at the peak where there's no going up from here, there's only going down as he gets older?
I didn't want to say that because I don't think that's next year he's gonna be worse.
No, but the peak, we don't know how long this peak is gonna last.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah, I'm not saying like it's all downhill from here. I'm not saying that, but yeah, I think if he was to get better, I would be so happy and I would be so proud and I would be impressed. But, he had a career in Japan. He's not a 22-year-old coming into this league putting up these numbers. And statistically, between 27 and 32 years old is your prime.
Yeah.
So I'm just playing the numbers on this one.
I'm going to ask you, any final thoughts that you think we haven't touched on when it comes to the Cubs' first real series under the books on American soil?
Few things I can rattle off real quick
Hit me.
because we're kind of short on time.
It hit me.
Okay, so do you remember the Swanson game?
Yeah.
Where where he tagged about, we should have lost that game. we were about
where
to
he had
lose
the
that
great
game,
defensive mindset to go, hey, let me do this.
Yes. Yeah. We were gonna lose that game. Likewise, we shouldn't have lost the Sunday game, so I'm fine with the record the way it is. I think Tucker is proving to be everything as advertised. I love the way he's hitting. He's already got. He doesn't have 3. He's got 2 homers for us already. I mean, like he's doing it. He's showing like, yeah, this is the reason you got me. Ian Happ is probably our most consistent player on the team. I'm so happy with him. I'm just talking about the people I'm thrilled with.
Yeah.
Also, PCA. This is just a small thing we can talk about probably later when we bring up another topic. I don't know why he's hitting so low in the lineup. He's hitting 7th, 8th. He should be like 5 or 6, maybe 2. That one really confuses me. I think him and Swanson should probably swap in the lineup, 5 and 7. But other than that, no, I think we can move on.
I'm looking at today. Like today, he's batting 7th against the A's.
Right, and it'd be kind of stupid to say that, like Swanson hit a home run today from the 5th position. So
is it just? We don't have to get into this full time, but I'm just gonna retort a little bit. Is it because we're now with Kyle Tucker, we're more loaded in that top half where it's like, yes, Hap's going to lead off. Yes, Tucker's going to be in the top 6. Seiya, Bush, and Swanson are going to be our 3, 4, 5. Nico, you can't put him in the final 3. Like, is it just something where it's like our top 6 is our top 6?
Probably.
Ideally.
And, have you ever heard of like hitting coaches talk about like the 7, 8, 9 hole like range of the batting order being like, sorry, excuse me.
You're good.
It's like starting over.
Yeah.
You treat 7, 8, 9 as if you would do your secondary 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Like if it's hockey, you have a first line, a second line,
Yeah.
So 7, 8, 9 is your second line of 1, 2, 3.
So
and if he's batting 1 in that hole, all right, fine. I guess they give him that kind of respect. I just probably a lot of that prejudice came from Swanson's hitting last year, which was lackluster. I mean, if he hits 260, 270 this year, I mean, be a huge improvement.
You know what I would do? And it's just because I love this strategy in baseball. I'd bet PCA 9th. Double leadoff man.
The second leadoff man.
Double leadoff man, baby. I feel like he's a guy that could eventually be like our leadoff guy, or could be a leadoff guy in a lineup. Why not bet him 9th and the double leadoff?
It's weird how Ian Happ is kind of in that Alfonso Soriano role.
Yep.
Where they're like not traditional leadoff guys, but for some reason he hits best when he's hitting first. Like they tried putting him in the third hole, which probably he should be in. He's probably our best overall around hitter, And Soriano was probably that at the time. Well, maybe not, but
yeah.
Regardless, it'd be nice to have PCA should be the leadoff guy, so it'd be cool. I agree with that. I think we should bat him 9th. It's just he just gets less at bats.
Last thing I want to say about this series, I gotta give a shout out to one guy who played his mind out this series. Miguel Amaya.
Oh boy, I mean,
He had 2 for 5 in that first game, 5 ribbies, and then 1 for 4 in each of the next 2. But some of his hits were big hits early on in the game too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's hitting hard.
Mm-hmm.
Even all of his outs were hard hit.
Yeah, he's got 7 RBIs in 4 games because he played one of those
I've
Tokyo
been
games.
very impressed by him. I'm happy he's taking that next step. I hope he can keep it going and stay consistent. I mean, obviously we can't expect him to hit 330.
Yeah,
but I mean, he's got six hits already in 6 games. So how can you ask more from that? Especially because I think he's only played 4 games too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 4 games.
I don't think he's played all 6.
No, he played 3 in the Diamondbacks. He played 1 for the Dodger series. But let us know, guys, what you guys think about first series, reactions, overreactions. What do you think? Let us know down below. As always, we'd like to thank the people that make these videos possible, our patrons whose names are displayed on the screen now. If you would like to become a patron, go ahead and click the Patreon icon in the bottom right. And if you'd like to check out another video from MVP Sports, hit the video in the upper left. As always, thanks for watching.